Hey, fourth grade, it's Miss Turner here. I'm ready to go over your DOL with you for the week of April 27th through May the 1st. That is your week 3 packet. I know Miss Wells covers these with you guys each week, but I wanted to go ahead and walk through them with you so you have them ready for Thursday's class. So here we go. Number 1, we visit Grandma at the beach yesterday. Well, I know that I need to capitalize the beginning of my sentence, so I'll mark that with the capital letter symbol with 3 lines. So I need we to be capitalized. I know that because this modifier yesterday is here, I know that this verb needs to be past tense. So this is actually going to be we visited Grandma at the beach yesterday. Now, there are some varying opinions on whether or not Grandma would need to be capitalized. I don't know how Miss Wells feels about it and whether or not she will say. I believe in this situation you could do either, and I believe I'm supported by those grammar rules, but you may defer to Miss Wells in that situation and complete it as she would have you to complete it, okay? You also need to have your punctuation at the end of the sentence, and then you will need to rewrite it freshly. Now, I'm not going to take the time to rewrite. I'm just going to go over the errors with you, and you can stop and pause this video, or you can do all your rewriting at the end. However you'd like to do it is fine with me, but that way we can save our time together. So let's move on to number 2. It says, we builded 2 sandcastles with her. So this is also referring to this student's time at the beach. So I know that I need to, again, capitalize the beginning of my sentence, we. I know that because this is also a past tense verb, build is one of our verbs that is irregular in the past tense. So instead of build, my verb is actually going to be built. So we built 2 sandcastles with her, and I make sure that I have my punctuation. Monday's DOL is now complete once you take the time to rewrite it. So now we're on to Tuesday, and my sentence reads, I ride on a plane for the first time tomorrow. So we've got a couple of things that we could do with this sentence. Firstly, we need to capitalize I because it's also it's the first of the sentence, but it is also considered a name or a proper pronoun, if you wanted to call it that, but it refers to me, so I know that my name could go in that sentence and it would still make sense. I always capitalize the word I for all those reasons. So I ride on a plane for the first time tomorrow. So this is the wrong kind of for. There are multiple fours in English. The for that is in this sentence is the number 4, but I need it to be the preposition for. So that will be FOR. For the first time tomorrow, period. Now, because of the structure of English, when we're talking about a future event, you could say I ride, or you could say I will ride. Either of those is correct. So again, I'm going to let Miss Wells decide which one she wants you guys to do. Either way would be perfectly acceptable. Okay. Number 2, my mom says that I sit next to the window. So again, I have to capitalize M at the beginning of this sentence because it is the beginning of the sentence. My mom says that I, again, even though this I is in the middle of the sentence, for the reasons we just discussed, it has to be capitalized. Sit next to the window. Again, you could say, I will sit next to the window, but because of the way future tense works in English, this could also be communicated with sit instead of will sit. Both would be perfectly acceptable. On to Wednesday now. So Henry and Kyle, those are both names. It says Henry and Kyle buyed surfboards. Now, this is referring to the past tense of the word buy, meaning to purchase something. So I know that Henry needs to be capitalized, much like I that we looked at before, not only because it's the beginning of the sentence, but it's also someone's name. It's a proper noun. So Henry and Kyle both need to be capitalized. And buy is another one of those verbs, kind of like build, that in the past tense, it is irregular. So Henry and Kyle bought surfboards. That's B-O-U-G-H-T. And that's the end of my sentence, so I need to mark it with my proper punctuation. They take them to the beach next weekend. Now, in this sentence, because next weekend is so far into the future, in this sentence, I most definitely would change this verb to will take. Okay? But in Tuesday's examples, because of the closeness that tomorrow, that's when the event is happening, is to the speaker, I would go ahead and say the present tense would be okay to use there. Again, you can let Miss Wells decide. But here on this one, we will add the word will to that verb. So I jumped in and did that correction first. I also need to capitalize they, because it is the beginning of the sentence. They will take them to the beach next weekend. Weekend is misspelled. So it is a compound word made up of the words week, W-E-E-K, and the word end, E-N-D. So that's one word, weekend. All right, let's look at Thursday. We're getting ready to wrap this sheet up. So Rachel and Dave walks to school each morning. So Rachel and Dave, those are also people's names. Rachel is a girl's name. Dave is a boy's name, usually. So let's capitalize the R in Rachel, and let's capitalize the D in Dave. That way we have both of our proper nouns capitalized. Because this is a plural subject, that's two people, Rachel and Dave, we need to have a plural verb. And a plural verb to agree with that would not be walks, it would be walk. So we have Rachel and Dave walk to school. And school is misspelled, so we need to correct that. S-C-H-O-O-L, each morning, period. And then it goes on to say they gets there early enough to have breakfast before class starts. So again, I need they to be capitalized. Unfortunately, this is also a singular verb, so I have to change it. I can't have the S on the end for it to be a singular verb here, so I need to say they get, that's G-E-T. They get there early enough to have breakfast before class starts, period. And now we're moving on to Friday. So number 1 says, I eats breakfast at home. Well, for a number of reasons, we discussed capitalizing the word I. So we'll do that first. And then eats, it's just like on the last one, only for the proper subject-verb agreement for eat is I eat breakfast at home, period, at the end of my sentence. And my mom make me eggs and toast. Oh, thanks, Mom. I loved when my mom makes something for me, so that's sweet. Number 2, so we have to capitalize my because it's the beginning of the sentence. My mom, this time we have to add the S so that it will agree with my mom. We have to have that subject-verb agreement. That's what this worksheet was talking about. My mom makes me eggs and toast. Thanks, Mom. And I put the period at the end of my sentence. And now I'm ready to check my DOL with Miss Wells. Great job today, you guys. Remember, you're going to want to go back and practice rewriting those sentences. But to save time, Miss Turner did not do that today. So do a good job. Complete your work, guys. And we will come back again for our next assignment very soon.